Hi, my name's Rachel, and today I'm going to be taking you through an all levels vinyasa flow. So it's going to be quite a gentle flow, but there will be some options to make it a little bit more fiery if that's what you're feeling like today. As always, just please go at your own pace. Remember that child's pose is always there if you need it. You will probably want a couple of bricks if you have them, and also maybe a strap if you have one. Just make sure you have them nearby, and let's begin. So we're going to start off in our child's pose. So bringing your big toes to touch, knees apart, and then sitting back on your heels. Walking your hands out and just bringing your forehead down onto your mat. And taking nice deep inhales and exhales here through your nose. Just taking this time to arrive on your mat. Slowing down your breathing. You can switch on your ujjayi breath if that's in your practice. Otherwise, just keeping nice deep inhales and exhales. And then slowly, we're just going to walk your hands over to the right side, coming up onto your fingertips, stretching out through your left side. And then walking your hands back through center and walking them over to the left side, stretching out your right side. And then back through center. And then just walk your hands coming up to seated. And then place your hands behind you, again up on your fingertips, and then just open up your chest. You can drop your head back if that feels comfortable on your neck. And then coming back up to seated, coming into all fours, so bringing your knees hip distance apart, shoulders over your wrists, spreading your fingers nice and wide. I'm just going to take a couple of cat-cows here just to wake up our spine. So as you inhale, drop your belly, open your chest, gaze forwards. As you exhale, round through your spine, gaze towards your navel. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, round through your spine, gaze towards your navel. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, drop your belly, open your chest. Exhale, round through your spine. Last one. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale, round through your spine, gaze towards your navel. And then just going to tuck under our toes, sit back, coming through child's, and then lifting your bottom up, coming into our first downward facing dog. So in your downward facing dog, you want to spread your fingers nice and wide. Your index fingers should be pointing forwards. Your feet should be hip distance apart, and you're trying to draw your heels down towards the mat, but don't worry if they don't get there. And you can absolutely bend your knees here if you need to. Think about keeping your spine nice and long and really tilting your pelvis up towards the sky. And then from here, we're just going to sweep your right leg up towards the sky, making sure that you keep your shoulders square to the mat, and then bending your knee, opening up your hips. And then just going to circle your ankle, just going one way, and then going the other way. And then bring your leg back down. And your next inhale, sweep your left leg up, bend your knee, opening up your hip. And then again, taking those ankle rolls, going one way, and going the other way. Bring your leg back down. And you can either stay in your downward facing dog, or if you want to, you can bring your right hand to your left calf And then just twisting around, gazing under your left elbow. And then coming back through center, taking your left hand to your right calf, twisting under, gazing under your right armpit. And then back through center. And then just going to tiptoe your feet up towards your hands. Bringing your feet hip distance apart. It's going to hang heavy here, coming into ragdoll, so shifting the weight into the balls of your feet. You can bend your knees here if you need to. Grab hold of opposite elbow. I'm just going to sway gently from side to side. And keep your eyes closed if that feels nice. Shaking out your head, relaxing your neck. And then releasing your elbows. We're going to slowly come all the way up to standing, coming up one vertebra at a time, head and neck coming up last. Slowly, slowly coming up to stand at the top of your mat. So bringing your big toes to touch, heels slightly apart, and spread your toes nice and wide so you can lift your toes up and then just place them down one at a time. Bring your hands beside you, shoulders down, gaze forwards, chin parallel to the mat. You're thinking about drawing your belly in, tucking your tailbone under. And we're just going to take a couple of sun A's and modified sun B's. So on your next inhale, sweep your arms up, gaze towards your hand. As you exhale, fold forwards, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips, look forward. As you exhale, going to step back into our high plank. And from your high plank, you're going to come down onto your knees, lowering down with your chin, chest, coming into a baby cobra. So with your baby cobra, you want to be really engaging your back muscles, engaging your core. So you should be able to hover your hands up off the mat here. And then on your next exhale, we're going to tuck under your toes, come back through downward facing dog. I'm just going to stay here for a couple of breaths. On your downward facing dog, you want the eyes of your elbows to be facing one another, spreading your fingers nice and wide, drawing your heels down to the mat. And then looking forward, stepping forward with your right foot, followed by your left. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips, or you can place your hands on your shins, look forwards. As you exhale, fold forwards, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Moving on. Inhale, sweep your hands up, gaze towards your hands. Exhale, fold forwards, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips or hands on your shins. Exhale, stepping back into your high plank, coming down, knees, chin, chest, or if you want to, you can come through your chaturanga. So lowering down, chaturanga, and then rolling over your toes, coming into upward facing dog. And as you exhale, come back through downward facing dog. Again, taking a few moments here, tilting your pelvis up towards the sky. And then gazing forwards, stepping forward with your right foot, followed by your left. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Moving on, Surya Namaskara B. So inhale, bend your knees, drop your hips, sweep your arms up, gaze in between your hands, coming into Utkatasana chair pose. As you exhale, placing your hands down onto the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips, gaze forwards. Exhale, stepping back, coming down, knees, chin, chest, or down through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, going to step forward with your right foot in between your hands. Come down onto your back knee. Sweep your arms up, coming into a low lunge. Gaze in between your hands. And then as you exhale, place your hands on your mat, stepping back into your high plank, coming down, knees, chin, chest, or Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward with your left, coming down onto your right knee. Sweep your arms up, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat, stepping back into your high plank, coming through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, just taking a few breaths here. Nice deep inhales and exhales. On your next inhale, look forwards, stepping forward with your right, followed by your left. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, bend your knees, drop your hips, sweep your arms up. Utkatasana. Exhale, come up to stand, hands at heart center. Moving on. Inhale, bend your knees, drop your hips. Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forwards. Uttanasana. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips, look forwards. Exhale, step, or you can hop back, coming through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward, and you can either come down onto your knee like we did last time, or stay up high, coming into a high lunge. Gaze in between your hands, staying on the ball of your left foot. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, coming through Chaturanga or knees, chin, chest. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward in between your hands. Sweep your arms up, high or low lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat, coming through knees, chin, chest, or down through your Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Remembering that child's pose is always there if you need it at any time throughout the practice. On your next inhale, sweep your right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, bring your foot in between your hands. And we're going to either come down onto your knee again, sweep your arms up, gaze in between your hands, or if you want to, you can keep your leg lifted into your high lunge. So in your high lunge, you want to really make sure that you're bending your front knee. Knee should be over your ankle, shoulders away from your ears. And then from here, you're going to ground down your back foot, open up your arms coming into Warrior Two. So your back foot should be parallel with your mat. Again, shoulders away from your ears, gazing over your front middle finger. Nice deep bend in your front knee. Trying to get your front thigh parallel to the mat. And then bringing your right elbow onto your right knee. Sweep your left arm up and over, coming into side angle. Gazing up towards the ceiling, rotating your chest around. And you can stay with your elbow on your knee, or if you want, you can bring your hand to the inside or the outside of your foot, or bringing your arm underneath and taking the bind, grabbing hold of your left wrist if that's in your practice. Again, just making sure that you're rotating your chest up towards the ceiling. And then releasing the bind if you had it. Place your left hand on your left hip. I'm just going to bring your left foot in slightly. If you have a block, you might want to grab it and just place it underneath your shoulder. Your hand should be a little bit in front of you, and then we're just going to lift your left leg up, coming into Ardha Chandrasana. So opening up your hip here, flexing through your foot. And then if you feel comfortable, you can lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Gaze either down on the mat, or if you feel okay with your balance, you can gaze up towards the ceiling. Staying strong in your standing leg. And then from here, we're just going to step back nice and wide, coming back into your warrior two stance for one breath, and then flipping your front palm. Bring your left hand onto your left leg, sweep your right arm up and over, coming into reverse warrior. Gaze at your right hand. Nice deep bend in your front knee. And then bring your hands down to the mat, stepping back and taking your vinyasa, either knees, chin, chest, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, bring your left foot in between your hands. Inhale, sweep your arms up, coming into your high lunge or staying down on your knee for low lunge. Gaze in between your hands. Your hips should be facing the front, shoulders away from your ears, staying high up on the ball of your back foot. On your next inhale, ground down your back foot, open up, coming into warrior two. So again, making sure that you got that nice deep bend in your front knee. Trying to get your left thigh parallel to the mat. Gaze over your front middle finger. And then bringing your left elbow onto your left knee. Sweep your right arm up and over, coming into our side angle. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Taking any modifications that you want to. And then from here, you're going to place your right hand on your right hip. Bring your right foot in slightly, and then again grabbing your block, placing it underneath your shoulder. And you're going to lift your right leg up, coming into your Ardha Chandrasana, our half moon. So really opening up your hip, flexing through your right foot. And then if you feel comfortable, reaching your right arm up. Staying strong in your standing leg. And then stepping back, coming into warrior two for one breath, and then flipping your front palm, reaching up and back, coming into reverse warrior. Gazing at your left hand, keeping that nice deep bend in your front knee. And then wimmeling your hands down to your mat, stepping back, coming through your vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then from here, you're going to look forwards. You're going to step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, come up into your fingertips. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastitihi. And from here, we're going to step out to the side of our mat, coming into Pasarita Padottanasana, so bringing the outside edges of your feet in line with the outside edges of your mat. Nice wide stance here. Then bringing your hands onto your hips As you inhale, open your chest, gaze up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, folding forwards. Bring your hands onto the mat. So you want the heel of your hands in line with your heels. And then having a nice 90-degree angle with your elbows. If you need to, you can bend your knees here. And inhale to create space, and as you exhale, fold forwards, gazing up and under in between your legs. Really making sure that you shift the weight into the balls of your feet. If tripod headstand is in your practice, please feel free to take that now. Otherwise, we're just going to stay here for a few more breaths. Last breath. And then coming all the way up, placing your hands on your hips and coming all the way up to standing. And from here, gonna bring your hands behind your back, interlacing your fingers, trying to bring the palms of your hands together if you can. Inhale, open your chest, gaze up. And as you exhale, fold forwards, bringing your arms over your head. Again, making sure that you shift the weight into the balls of your feet. Gazing up and under in between your legs. Drawing your hands up and over your head. Really getting a nice stretch in your shoulders here. And then slowly coming all the way up, release your hands. And then stepping to the front of your mat. Then just going to shake your feet out a little bit. And then from here, going to come stand at the top of your mat. And we're going to take a couple of balancing poses. So grounding down through your left foot, we're going to come into tree pose. So with tree pose, placing your hands on your hips, you can either bring your right foot onto your calf, or if you want to go a little bit further, you can bring it all the way up onto your thigh. Just wherever you place your foot, just making sure that you don't place it on your knee. And when we're going to gaze forwards, you can bring your hands to your heart center. Just focusing on something that isn't moving. Find one spot and soften your gaze. Really drawing your belly in here. Engage your core. And then from here, we're just going to lift your arms up over your head, keeping your hands in prayer. And opening up your hands and gazing up towards the ceiling. Shoulders away from your ears. So everyone, bringing your hands to your heart center. And then from here, you're going to bring your right knee into your chest. And either you can stay here just holding on to your right knee, making sure that you keep your spine nice and straight. Or if you want, you can come into Warrior 3, so bring your hands to your heart center. We're just going to fly your right foot back, coming into Warrior 3, lifting our chest, making sure that your hips are square to the mat. Gaze forwards. Staying strong in your standing leg. And then coming all the way up to standing. And release. So coming onto our left side. So grounding down through your right foot. Again, bringing your foot to wherever feels comfortable. So either on your calf or up on your thigh. Bringing your hands to your heart center. Gazing forwards, draw your belly in, finding that spot that you can focus your gaze. And then from here, we're just going to raise our hands up over our head. Open up your hands. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands back to heart center. And then from here, bringing your left knee in towards your chest. And again, either just taking hold of your left knee, keeping your spine nice and straight, staying nice and tall. Or if you want to, bring your hands to your heart center and extending your left leg back out, coming into Warrior 3. Keeping your chest nice and lifted, keeping your hips square to the mat. And then slowly coming all the way up. And release. Shaking everything out. And moving on. So bringing your big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Come to stand at the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Gaze towards your hands. As you exhale, folding forwards, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips, look forwards. Exhale, step or hop back, coming through your vinyasa, so knees, chin, chest, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from here, we're going to sweep your right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, bring your foot in between your hands, placing your left hand to the inside of your right foot. Inhale, sweep your right arm up, coming into easy twist. So you can come down onto your left knee if you need to, gazing up to your right hand, untuck your foot, or staying up with your leg lifted. You're going to heel toe your right foot over to your left wrist, coming into our pigeon pose. So with pigeon pose, your foot might be much closer to your hip, or it might be at more of a right angle to the mat. Just find where you feel comfortable, and what you really want to make sure is that you're keeping your hips nice and squared. You might want to grab a block and just place it underneath your right hip, your right glute. And then from here, either you can stay upright, making sure that your back foot is untucked, or you can start to just walk your hands out, maybe coming onto your forearms, or walking them all the way out, lowering your chest down towards the mat. And we're just going to stay here for 10 breaths. So really starting to wind down. Taking nice deep inhales and exhales. Breathing into any tight spots you might have in your hips. Stretching out your glutes. And then slowly coming up. And from here, you're going to tuck under your back foot, sweep your right leg up towards the sky, coming into three-legged dog. Either staying in your three-legged dog, or if you want, we're going to come into wild thing. So you're going to bend your right knee, place your left hand into the center of the mat. I'm going to flip over, extending your left leg out long, coming up onto the ball of your right foot, reaching your right arm back behind you, lifting your chest, lifting your hips. So from here we're going to come into Vinyasa. So bringing your feet together, coming onto the knife edge of your left foot, or if you want to, you can come down onto your left knee, reaching your right arm up towards the ceiling, keeping your hips nice and lifted. Gaze up towards your right hand. And then coming into a high plank. And then from here we're going to come down onto your forearms, coming to a forearm plank. So staying nice and strong in your core, either staying here or we're just going to take 5 rocks going forwards. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then coming back, sitting back on your heels, coming into child's pose, bringing your forehead onto your mat. Taking nice deep breaths here. Slowly coming up, tucking under your toes, lifting your bottom back, coming into downward facing dog. Moving on to our left side, so inhale, sweep your left leg up. As you exhale, bring your left foot in between your hands. Bringing your right hand to the inside of your left foot, sweep your left arm up, coming into our easy twist. Gaze up towards your left hand, staying on the ball of your right foot. And then bringing your left hand down onto the mat, heel toe your left foot over to your right wrist, setting up for our pigeon pose. So inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, maybe walking your hands, coming all the way down. Melting your chest down towards the mat, closing your eyes. And then slowly coming up, tucking under your back foot and sweep your left leg up, coming into your three-legged dog. Again, either staying here or bending your left knee, bringing your right hand into the center of the mat, flipping over, coming into wild thing, gazing behind you, gazing at your left hand, keeping your hips nice and lifted, staying off the ball of your left foot. And then from here, coming into Vinyasa, so bringing your feet together, reaching your left arm up, gaze towards your left hand, keeping your hips nice and lifted. And then coming into your high plank. And then again, we're going to come down onto our forearms. I'm just going to take those rocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then come back into your child's pose. And then from here, we're going to come to seated. So bringing your legs out in front of you. We're going to come into a nice forward fold. So you might want to grab hold of your strap if you have one. And either placing your hands on your shins or grabbing hold of your big toes with your 2 peace fingers, or you can bring your hands to the outside of your feet, or if you have your strap, you're going to place your strap around the balls of your feet and use that to gently pull you forwards. So as we inhale, we're going to sweep our arms up over our heads, Exhale, fold forwards. Come to wherever you can with your hands. Closing your eyes here. Nice deep breaths. Slowly coming all the way up. I'm going to place your right foot over your left leg, keeping your left foot nice and flexed. Bringing your right hand behind you. Inhale, sweep your left arm up and hook your left elbow over your right knee, twisting round. Gaze over your right shoulder. Staying nice and tall with your spine. Every inhale, create a little bit more space, and every exhale, see if you can just twist a little bit further around. And release, and just take a little counter twist going the other way. And then from here, I'm going to come onto your right knee. Bring your right hand behind you and then sweep your left arm up, lifting your hips. Gaze towards your left hand. Coming all the way back down. Coming into our second forward fold, so bringing your feet out long. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Maybe you want to go slightly deeper than you did before. So inhale to prepare, exhale, folding forwards. Slowly coming up. And this time bringing your left foot over your right leg. Bringing your left fingertips behind you. Inhale, sweep your right arm up, hooking it over your right knee. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, twisting round. Gaze over your left shoulder, keeping your right foot flexed. Keeping your spine nice and long. Using every inhale to create space, and every exhale just twisting a little bit further if you can. And release, taking that counter twist, going the other way. And then coming onto your left knee, sweep your right arm up, lifting your hips, gaze towards your right hand. Coming all the way down. And I'm going to cross over your ankles, stepping or hopping back through your vinyasa. So exhale, knees to chest or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from here, I'm going to look forwards. I'm going to step or hop through to seated. Bring your legs out in front of you. We're going to come into Navasana, boat pose. So bringing your hands behind your knees, keeping your chest nice and lifted. You want your legs to be in a tabletop position, so parallel to the mat. And either keeping your hands behind your knees or bringing your hands out beside you, palms facing upwards, engaging your core. And if you can straighten your legs, keeping your chest nice and lifted. And then everyone bringing your knees back to a bent position. And again, you can take hold of behind your knees or bring your hands up beside you. And we're just going to take a few toe taps. So we'll do 30. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Hug everything in. Bring your forehead onto your knees. Give yourself a nice hug. And then crossing over your feet. You can skip out your vinyasa if you want to. Stepping back, coming through. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then from here again, we're going to step or hop through to seated. So bringing your feet flat on the mat, hip distance apart, knees bent, bringing your arms out beside you. We're just going to slowly roll down, coming on to our backs. So going nice and slowly, engaging your core. Coming all the way down. So from here, we're just going to take a couple of back bends. So we're going to start off with our bridge pose. If you want to do something more restorative, you can grab your block and just lift your hips and either place it underneath your sacrum. So either on the lower height, or you can go onto the very lower height, or coming up a little bit higher. So placing it lengthways, right on your lower back, on your sacrum, and then bring your hands beside you and just relax here and stay here for the whole time. Otherwise, we are going to take 3 back bends. So bringing your feet in towards you, you want your feet hip distance apart, thighs parallel. Bring your hands flat on the mat, and then as you inhale, you're going to slowly peel your back off the mat, lifting your hips, bringing your shoulders under, really engaging your glutes and your quads here, keeping your thighs parallel. Slowly lowering down and just gently window wiping your knees from side to side. So you can take that bridge again, or if you want, you can go a little bit further this time. So as you inhale, you're going to lift your hips, and then you're going to interlace your hands underneath your back, trying to bring your palms to touch, and then just wiggle your shoulders underneath, and again lifting your hips nice and high, really engaging your legs, keeping your thighs parallel, opening up your chest. Slowly lowering back down, and again just gently window wiping your feet from side to side. So please feel free to take either of those 2 again, or if you're feeling warm enough and it's already in your practice, then you can take a wheel. So if you're ready to take your full wheel, bringing your hands beside your ears, inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, you're going to lift up, coming onto the crown of your head, and then you might just want to shift your hands back again slightly. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, lifting up, coming into your full wheel. Staying here for 5 breaths. Slowly lowering down. And again, just window wiping your legs from side to side. And then from here, we're just going to come into a happy baby. So either grabbing hold of your big toes with your 2 peace fingers, or grabbing hold of the outside edges of your feet. drawing your knees in towards your armpits. You close your eyes. You just rock gently from side to side if that feels nice. Trying to keep your lower back on the mat as much as possible. Opening up your hips. And release. I'm just going to come down for our final resting pose, or Shavasana. So closing your eyes, bringing your feet as wide as the mat. Hands up, palms facing upwards. I'm going to take a couple of nice releasing breaths here. So inhale through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. And again, inhale through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. And then just let your breath return to its normal pace. Please stay here for as long as you need to, but if you're ready to move on with your day, maybe just start to slowly wiggle your fingers and your toes, circling your wrists and your ankles. Stretching your arms up overhead, pointing your toes. And keeping your eyes closed, just going to roll over to the right side, making a little pillow with your hands. And slowly coming up to seated. Placing your hands on your knees, opening your eyes. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any future videos, and I really hope to see you again soon. Thank you.